viewers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know you've been learning. We are now in episode 5, English and Literature with Carol. We've been looking at Fathers of Nations. The characters that we've encountered are, just to name but a few from the beginning, we've already looked at Professor Kimani Karanja, who was dumped by his wife, Asia. We've also encountered a bully that has fought Professor Kimani Karanja and made him a hurt man. That is newborn Walomo. Now, Professor Kimani Karanja has been recruited to AGDA. We know now he's part of AGDA because he has been recruited by, do you remember in our previous video? He was recruited by Tad Longway from Cape Town all the way to South Africa. And we are told that he should be attending a summit that is as an observer status, but now he's a member of AGDA and he will be there to ensure that Path Alpha is able to go through. Now, from there, we were taken back to other characters that you're going to learn in this lesson. That is Fiona McKenzie, who has been introduced to the Voice of America. She was working for the Gambian News, but now she's working for the VOA. We've also seen an interesting character known as Nicholas Sentinel. He is now to work with Fiona McKenzie, Madam Fiona McKenzie, Ms Fiona McKenzie. Why is she chosen? We are told something about by Robert Manley, the chief of the bureau, who has met Fiona McKenzie and told her that he would really want her to work for the VOA. Why is she one of the best candidates? Because, first of all, of her professional expertise. She's a great journalist, and even Nick Sentinel appreciates that and says, wow, I have heard from Mr. Manley that you are the best. So here you are. I'm happy to meet you, and we'll be working together. And another reason why she has been chosen is that she has an African background. Remember, there's something interesting about Ms. Fiona McKenzie. She has a heavy European accent. She has this refined English, and Nick Sentinel notes that because she clarifies that she has a great accent. That is on page 51. And then she's asked, are you from Britain or something? She says, no, I'm from Scotland. That is Edinburgh. Remember, she was adopted by the missionaries. That she has carried that name Mackenzie because she's not, she was born an orphan, but some great missionaries adopted her. That's why she has a great accent, because she's gone to school in Scotland, but now she's working back in Gambia. She has been hired by VOA. Have you understood there? She has been hired by the Voice of America to work with them. And now she's being told some of these things that it's good that you realize that these are some of the details that you've never had found out if she had continued working in the Gambian News. First of all, the guy that was calling these 4 strangers did not want to reveal his identity. Do you remember we talked about mobile phone that he had given each of the 4 strangers to communicate with? There's something interesting that Nick Sentinel has done. He's able to tap this information. Ironically, the guy has been using the mobile phone because he wouldn't want to use a landline to seal his identity, because he wants to look hidden. Irony of ironies. That mobile phone was tapped, and they have the information. Nick Sentinel, through the silent listener, has captured a lot of information that they have been communicating. These 4 strangers have been using a mobile phone that they believe is secret. The guy did not even tell them his name because he wants to be very confidential. But now, ironically, they know what the Nick Sentinel has all the information. The silent listener has captured that information, and that is on page 55 that we see. He says there is a lot of information we gather there. When he plays that silent listener, he says, "Excellent. Keep that phone at all times, day and night, rain or shine. From now on, I will be calling you often, even unexpected, but only through this number. So always have the mobile phone on, and like your hotel phone, it is completely secure, which means I can talk to you on it freely." And then, isn't it ironic? Asked the youth, smiling. The silent listener caught the beat of the conversation because the speakers were using wireless cell phones, believing them to be more secure than hotels' landline. In this case, the landline was in fact more secure than the cell phone after all. That is ironic. That one is called a feature of style. Features of style in literature, irony is one of them. And you can see even Nick Sentinel says it is ironic. How would they think that it is safe? We already have this information. And they continue with that, and now we know that Fiona McKenzie is quite amused. She was underestimating the power of technology. You know, now in the Voice of America by the Americans, through the aid of Nick Sentinel, have gathered a lot of information. And remember, they have hired who? Ms Fiona McKenzie as a professional journalist who is going to assist them in the summit. Remember, there is a summit that will be going on at the Pinnacle Hotel. Now, we have a change of scene. Remember, now they have dispersed. Ms McKenzie knows her work. She will be working with the VOA. She's no longer working with the Gambian news. She's no longer earning the peanuts. She has big salary. It's in the evening, very late in the evening. She had called Dr. Afolabi. Now we are looking at the change of scene. Look at those stars on page 57 to tell us we have changed the scene. She's addressing Dr. Afolabi. Now we know that she wanted to talk to him, but he wants to feel, let her wait for me. Oh no, something happens that evening when Dr. Afolabi has taken too much time when he doesn't meet Ms. McKenzie. There is an implied message there when Ms. McKenzie is waiting for Dr. Afolabi. A man calls her and wants to bully her. He assumes that she's there on other businesses. Remember, she's a professional journalist, but this man wants to get her to his room, thinking that she's on other businesses. Do you guess the businesses that he's thinking? He's thinking of. Now, comment down there below and tell me which are these businesses. This man, he has even named her as Joy. He carries her off, and she's been protesting and shouting. Who comes to her aid? Guess who comes to her aid? Who comes to rescue Fiona McKenzie? Dr. Afolabi. He wrestles the man, gets him on the ground, and saves Ms. Fiona McKenzie. And that's how they interact. And because definitely, as Dr. Afolabi has done Fiona McKenzie a favor, I don't know if, as a person that is full of secrets that you should be having, Ms. McKenzie should have disclosed what she had encountered there with the VOA and the silent listener, but she actually comments to Dr. Afolabi what she has encountered, and Dr. Afolabi, when he's given that information, Shock of his life. They have been thinking that they are hidden as Agda. Someone is telling him, there is a silent listener who is able to get all this information. He pretends to be dozing and he says, good night, see you tomorrow. I have not told you good night. Come here, we continue learning. Anyway, that is our great lesson. See you in our next episode. Now we are through with chapter 4. That is episode 5. Now we shall go to episode 6. See you. Continue subscribing. Bye.